Hi guys, welcome to Didedi's Crafty Corner. In today's video, we're going to be playing Dies and Shine Sunday. It's not Sunday. I didn't get this particular one done on Sunday. I have a few that I've stored on Sundays, for Sundays, but this one I thought I would just do live with you today because I decided I wanted to do it. Okay, I'm kind of out of breath today. You guys will have to forgive me for that. But what I'm going to be playing with is just your basic snow globe die. These come in big and small. You could use a snow globe die. You could use a stamp of a snow globe and cut it out. But we're going to be using the circle and a base. Just a snow globe die. And I'm also going to be adding for today's a deer. But you could use anything you wanted in the middle. A snowman. Little images you've already colored, you know, just things like that. I'm going to show you how I'm going to doctor this up a little bit, but it's going to look fantastic. So I've cut out my circle, and by the way, you can do this without a snow globe die. Cut out a circle, cut out a piece of brown cardstock, bevel it up on the sides like this, just bevel it up and give it a little turn, a little curve here, and your snow globe will look great on top of it. Super easy to do. Don't stress out about it. Really easy. So if you don't have a snow globe die, but you got a circle die, you can make a snow globe die. Okay? So we're going to be using these two. I've already cut them out. I don't remember the brand of this one, but I linked to one down below on Amazon, which is the same dimensions of this one. Okay? So we've got our little brown base. We're going to be doctoring that up a little bit, and we've got our white. We're going to doctor that up. Okay, so Dies and Shine Sunday, I do not edit. This is as long as it takes to do it. I don't do any editing to it. So that's the nice thing about Dies and Shine. We're going to be using a stencil that has not been washed. Can you believe that, guys? Yeah, sometimes. I think I'm actually going to use two stencils, but we're going to start off with one stencil. I'm going to be using tumbled glass and maybe a little bit of broken china. I am using my Clarity stamp brushes. I love these for a soft look. I have the tonic ones as well. I do use both, but I tend to come back to this one more often because I'm just looking for a very soft wash of color for our little globe. So I'm going to be putting some clouds on here, but I'm going to be leaving some white as well. So I'm going to be coming in with this soft little brush and just giving the illusion of another cloud. See how pretty that is? And then I'm going to flip it around and do some more. Now I'm not caring too much about taping this down or doing anything like that, because it's a small circle and I'm pretty sure that I can control it. She says, you know, often, and is wrong. See how soft that is? Super pretty. Just giving us a soft little detail. That's all I'm looking for right now. And then I'm going to actually flip the stencil over and use the other side as well, just to get a little bit different look. And this one I may come in just a little bit heavier, making it just a little bit darker for this one. The nice thing about using the brush is you're going to get a really soft look no matter what. So see, a little bit darker. And then I'm going to come over to this one. And I think I'm going to dip into my broken china, which is a little bit darker. Pretty. You could hardly tell the difference with that, could you? Yep, barely. All right, we're going to go right down here, and if it's going to move, this is going to be the place. This is where it's going to do it. Perfect. And then I'm just going to come in, and I'm just going to kind of fill in a little bit across the bottom. Now, here's the deal. Our little buddy here, our little deer, is not going to be in the clouds. So we didn't really need to do the clouds all the way in the bottom, but I did. And I'm actually quite okay with that. And I'm just going to come in, I'm just going to give it a little soft once over. I really wanted this to be super, super soft everywhere. All right, I like it. So it could be little clouds, it could be little hills. It just gives an illusion that there's something back there. Okay? All right, so now there that is. Then I was thinking about taking this snowdrop stencil and adding a little bit of snow. But, what do you think, guys? Should we try it? Kind of taking away from the Dies and Shine by all these techniques, but let's give it a shot. All right, let's see. Where is my... There we go. I'm just going to do it very lightly. I am using the Nouveau Glimmer Paste. And I mean, I'm going to do this super lightly because I'm really wanting just a little bit. I'm going to have to do it a little bit more than that. All right, let's clean it off. Put it back in your container. And then you're going to want to wash everything that you've just used with this straight away. But don't waste any of it. Put all that goodness back in your container to use for another day. All right, I think that's good enough. All right, we're going to leave that there for 1 second while I do this. Cover this up. I like to cover this up immediately because I don't like to have to buy my products over and over again, you know? I want them to last, not get dried out. Okay. And there's a little bit of rambling that goes on with these videos, guys, because I like to talk my way through it. Some of you like it, maybe some of you don't, but that is what I'm doing. Okay, pull it off. Ooh, pretty. Okay. All right, I've got to go clean this off real quick because I happen to really like this stencil. Now, you can take this right into your sink. You can bring a bowl of water, you know, back to your craft room with you to soak it, but I usually just grab my mister and some water and take most of it off right now so that I know that I can use it again and that paste is not going to be on there. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take that same paper towel that's got a little bit of wetness around it and I'm just going to real quick go around the edges of our snow globe. Because I don't want any of that stuff on the edges of it. Okay, pretty. So now that's what we got. Super pretty, right? We're going to set it aside. And we're going to go ahead and work on this, and then we're going to dry it. And I've already wiped off my... Okay. Okay, all right, let's grab some ink. So for this, you could use your Copics, you could use your inks. It's really whatever is your preference for this, you know, whatever you feel you want to use. I think I'm going to grab some Distress Oxide in Vintage Photo. Maybe a little walnut stain. Let's try these. Okay. And I think I'll use a blender for these because... All right, so I'm going to go in with my old standard here. I love my Vintage Photo. And all I'm going to be doing with this is just giving it a little bit of depth and color. So I'm just going to be coming around the edges. I started with a piece of brown cardstock just to give it a little bit of color already, which gives us an area to start the life of this to begin, because we want it to be dimensional, which means we're going to want it to be darker, lighter. All right, I'm going to go into the walnut stain, and I'm going to start coming in and flicking from the top. And then to the sides. We're going to be coming back in on the sides with it as well, but let's just get some on the sides. And again, you could use your Copics. A lot of times that's what I do, is I just use my Copics for this. Okay, now let's come in on the sides and darken it up even more. Pretty. Move it off a little bit. All right, I like that. And then we're going to come in with ground espresso, which is super dark. And we're just going to add a little more. You could also come in with black soot at this point. It would look super, super cool on there as well. I'm just trying to give it just a little bit of really good dimension, so that when we look at this, we see that this is got a lot of layers going on to it. It's going to look a little aged, a little vintagey. That is fantastic. Can you see that, guys? I'm going to come in a little bit. I know you can't, especially with my long sleeve. See that? Feels nice. All right, then I'm going to pick it up and I'm just going to flip the edges with this dark color as well. Now we already have our planks to our wood in there, so that's cool. All right, I really, really like that. I'm going to come back in with the vintage photo right in the center and blend it all out a little bit. I'm going to blend it off a little bit. All right, ready? So all I'm going to do is just kind of stroke it all together, going this way. And then going that way. And look at that. Super, super cool. All right. Let's put this away. Vintage photo goes here. All right, this goes over here. This can go here. And let's clean this up a little bit. And then we're going to dry this, and we're going to get done. We're going to be done. We're going to get done. How silly does that sound? We're going to get done. Okay, this is not cards. This is not water cardstock, but I'm going to use it anyway because once it dries, I'll come back and show you what I'm going to do with it. It's going to be pretty cool. All right, let's just kind of wipe this off. Okay, let's dry this a little bit because I want to move on. And for that, we're going to use the heat gun, not the, ooh. We're going to use the Ranger heat tool instead of the heat gun that I use for, this just gives you a And this is the heated craft tool by Ranger. What I like about it is it's nice and soft heat. It dries things very, very quickly. And it's much better for doing like watercolors and sprays and distress ink that you want to dry. Whereas your other tool, this one, your heat tool, you know, that you use for embossing, is much faster. It's designed to be much faster. And see, and now this is perfectly dry and we can go ahead and use it. And I'll link to that below as well, if I can find it. It's a holiday, so many things are sold out, right? Okay, so I haven't decided what card base we're gonna put this on yet. Silly old me. But I think this is gonna go behind here like this. All right. It's gonna go a little something like this. We're gonna use that. We're gonna use this gold deer, which is a Spellbinders deer. I will link that below too if I can find it. Super pretty little deer. I think it's adorable. I can't remember if it came with another set or not. If it came with like a holly leaf or something. I want him to be the center of attention like that. And then this is going to go right there. Pretty. Okay. Now, are we going to pop this up? I think we are. What do you think so far, guys? Really pretty, right? All right, let's get a card base and see. Do we want it to go my normal way? Oh, that's so not normal. That's up and down. How about that? We can't go that way. We don't want that card base. We want this one, up and down. Okay, I know we're going to put some paper on there. We're going to put, by the way, that's what the cardstock looked like before, and that's what it looks like after you've aged it. Super cool. So it's going to look a little something like that. Now I cut out a piece of plastic from packaging, because sometimes what I do is I just take that plastic and I attach it to here. And that makes it shiny on top, giving it the appearance of being glass. So I'll show you. So see how you can see it shiny? And it just gives the appearance of being glass. And then sometimes I'll also cut another circle with this one and a smaller die and give it a frame, which I may do as well. All right, so what do you think about that? All right, I am going to shut the camera off for 1 second and go find some background paper, and then we'll be right back. Okay. So we have our piece of paper picked. I'm just going to go with a nice muted gray tone on a white background. I think that's going to look super cute. I did go ahead and cut out a circle for a frame. We may use that. And right now we're going to go ahead and emboss our Merry Christmas on the front of our little panel that's going to go right in front right here. So let's kind of get everything out of the way. We might use some of the snow pieces there, I'm not sure. All right, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to take our little piece here. I'm going to try to set that right there. I'm just going to come down here and slide it in the corner the best I can. Grab a magnet. And just kind of make sure it's kind of even. All right, and then I'm going to get my Merry Christmas. And I'm just going to place it about where I want it. Having to move my magnets a little bit, I'm sure. And I want it to be about right there. Then I'm going to pick it up. Come on, you can do it. And then once I pick it up, I'm going to move it just a little bit. And what I'm doing is I'm taking it to the center of where the words are and I'm curving it up. just a little bit. And then I'm going to come back down and I'm going to see how I like it. Mary's got too much of a curve maybe. We're going to take that down a little bit. All right, I like that. And then what I'm going to have to do is move up my little base until I get it where I want it, and I like it right there. Okay, so now we're going to get some clear embossing ink on here, but first we're going to wipe this down with some powder. We're going to wipe it down real good too, because I'm actually going to hold it in place. Okay. We're going to have to go back and see if it lines up now. Okay. Move our little magnets out of the way. I want this to go up to touch that red line, I think, just like that. Perfect. All right, so let's put one little magnet right there. One little magnet right there. And then right where I just had my finger, we'll rub a dub. Okay. All right, now we're ready. All right, I'm just using some Versamark, which is a sticky ink, and I'm going to tap it on here. And I'm probably going to do it twice just because of all the distress ink that I have on there. And I'm just going to push it down. I'm going to pull it up gently. And it got a really good impression, but I'm going to do it one more time just to make sure. I'll go down one more time. And we're going to be heat embossing this with white powder, and that's going to make it just pop on this brown paper. All right, let's move that out of the way. Okay. I need a piece of scrap paper. And I don't have one, so we're going to be extra careful. All right, so I'm using the embossing powder by Ranger in Super Fine Detail. The Super Fine Details are my favorite powders, and I'm going to be using white for right now. So we're just going to go ahead and hope we don't make a huge mess, which is not very easy for me not to make a mess. Oh, that looks good, right? All right, and then we're going to set it aside just for a second. Perfect. And then I have a tiny little Crayola paintbrush, right? It's a do-nothing paintbrush. And what I do is if I see any place that's bothering me before I heat it up, like right underneath this E, I'm going to wet my brush. And I'm going to very carefully take the very sharp point that's on this brush in a steady hand, and I'm just going to wipe it off. And it's gone. Perfect. I see one tiny little spot in between the H. Again, I'm just going to wipe it off. Okay, I think that looks good to me. All right, then we're going to heat it. Using the Wagner heat gun. That's what it looks like. And again, I will link this below as well. right, did you guys see what happened there? See the white? So what happened was this was still very, very hot, and I didn't give it a minute to cool off before I flipped it over. So it took the ink, which is dry now, it took the ink and it pushed it onto our mat. So there are two choices here. We could try to line it up again, which I'm not going to do, or you can take a white gel pen and just go over the places that are messed up. And that is what I'm going to do. Where's my favorite white pen? This is not it. Oh, is that it? I think that's it. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and try that before we start over. And these things happen, guys. It happens to all of us. It doesn't matter how long you've been crafting. It happens to us all. But you can go right over this with your white gel pen. And then nobody but you is going to know this happened. Well, and maybe the couple hundred of you that watch this video. You'll know, but the most of the people won't, so that's okay. And remember, you want to make sure you get your pen started. And then you're going to be getting a lot of juice out of it, and it just flows. See? And now we're back to perfect again. All right. Now we are going to set that aside, and we're going to let it dry for a minute. So see, it's very easy. Don't throw your stuff away. Try to fix it first. Normally, it can be fixed, okay? We all make mistakes. All right, let's get back to this, because I know we're going into an hour, and this is just ridiculous. All right, so I am going to go ahead and use this frame, I believe. So I'm going to go ahead and glue down my little beautiful deer. And I'm just going to use my art glitter glue after I remove the pen. And I'm not going to worry about gluing down his antlers and all that, because I'm going to be covering him up with some cellophane. So we're going to take our panel, we're going to make it so that it looks like it's straight up and down. We're going to find out where we want him to be, which I was thinking about right there, but he could go over a little bit right there. And we're going to press him down. Perfect. Now if you happen to get any glue on him, because he has, because he's shiny, it does not dry clear on shiny, but you can just go in and wipe it right off. Perfect. All right, and now because this is not going to show, I'm going to actually go in and I'm going to put a small line of glitter glue all the way around this part. And then I'm going to take my piece of cellophane, which is just an old piece of packaging, and I'm going to push it on there, but I'm going to make sure that it's straight all the way around. And then I'm going to take my white panel piece, and I cut one side to be a little thicker on the bottom. That's the part that I want on the bottom. And then we're just going to place it right on top. Just like that. And now we've got a cute, super cute little window. I'm going to move this out of the way, and I'm just going to go in. Now you're going to see there's a little bit of glue forming on the inside. It's going to dry clear, and you are not even going to see it's there. So you don't have to worry about that. But we do want to make sure that our little edges are clear. And one of the things that is happening on mine is I have a little bit of cellophane that I need to trim off. Just right in here. So I'm just going to go in and I'm going to give it a little trim right there. And I mean it's super minute. Perfect. Okay. All right. Super pretty, right? Okay. Now we're going to be assembling this right on top of here. And for that, for the top part, we're going to use our glitter glue. And then for the bottom piece, we're going to be using some foam tape, I believe. Pretty, okay. That's super pretty. All right. So let's go ahead and get a little piece of fun foam, or fun tape, white tape, scotch tape, some sort of tape. All right, and actually we're going to cut a small piece to start with to go on here. Just like that. But then I'm going to go ahead and pop up the entire thing, so I think that'll look good. So let's go ahead and do that. Right there, and right there. And I think I'm going to do a little square on each side over here as well, like right there, and right there. Perfect. Okay, let's get our card. All right, I chose the gray because I thought it would look really good with the blues and the wood tone, and this would be a nice like monotone kind of a look. It would be nice and soft, but it would be very, very pretty and elegant. I'm gonna have to peel one of my hairs off right here. Always. Always, always. And then we're going to set this right in the middle. Just like that. Then I'm going to go ahead and press it down. Okay, super, super pretty. All right, now for a few embellishments, I was thinking that we could take a couple of these little snowflakes, maybe put one. I kind of like that behind the scene thing right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. What do you think about that, guys? Just like that. Do you love it? And then we'll put some Wink Castella on there. I like that. Okay, let's do that. All right, so I'm going to put some glue in just little spots. All right, and I like this tucked like behind there. So it's a shame I didn't leave it untucked. But we can still give it the illusion of being back there. All right, I like that. And I like this one over here too. So that's not the glue. Let's use a little bit of glue here and see if I can get him to go back in there like I had him. He did. Good, good, good. Okay. All right, and then this one, we're just going to glue right on just like that. I want at least 2 of those hands holding it. And then this one's going to go right in the middle of that one. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Okay. All right, let's see what we got. Don't you feel like this took 100 years? Dear Lord, I feel like I've been doing this 100 years today. I know y'all have already tuned out. We're going to put just a little bit of sparkle right in the middle of that one. Pretty. And, oop, that one's bigger, so we're going to need a bigger one. I think we're going to need a much bigger one. Let's get this one. Right here. Oh, yeah. Pretty. And then this one, I think maybe this one. What do you think? Pretty. All right, guys, tell me, what do you think? Super cute, right? All right, let's see how long this took. Ooh, yeah, we're about 30 minutes altogether. All right, let me zoom you in, let you see. So like I said, all we've done is we've used one die, which you could use anything you already have in your collection. You could use a deer, a Christmas tree, whatever you have, a little snowman, whatever. A circle die and a base die to make a snow globe, or you could use your, you know, just cut a piece and then angle it off. That's all you've got to do is just cut it, angle it, and put a little curve in it. And really, you don't even have to put the curve in it. Or you can use a sentiment banner and just pop it up on the bottom, and that looks like a snow globe too. Okay, super easy to do. So let's zoom you in. There you go. Super cute. Another Christmas card finished. What do you think? All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you weren't too annoyed by my ambiance tonight because, yeah, I'm under the weather again. And it's freezing here. And I know you guys are going to laugh because 44 is not freezing to you guys. But it's 44 in the morning here. And the house is staying chilly. And I'm chilly. And when I'm chilly, I don't feel good. The bones don't love me so much. So, yeah, there's that. I love you. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next video. So today's video was Dies and Shine on Thursday, but we'll be back to Sunday soon. I love you, and I'll see you soon.